We've qualified for the World Cup. Go and compete. We'll prepare and we'll go and we'll do our best. We'll put them under pressure. The game is about being effective, being aggressive, winning the ball, getting on with the play. We'll put them under pressure.
Now that is the way to rock in to a show on the 1st of April. What do you reckon to that, Philip?
Gee, yeah. Who's singing that? I haven't heard that song before.
That's one the guys use at the Full-Time Sports Network on the break during half time. And I love the song. And I thought, can I put that song to that video? So I played around with it, and I like it. I don't know what you think, Philip, but it goes.
No, that's my type of music. That's my type of music. So yeah, very good. Very good.
Yeah. Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. Happy Easter. Hope you've had a lovely Easter Sunday, and you're all sick of chocolate today. I know Philip is. He was chasing around the Easter Bunny yesterday, around Leitrim. If there was anybody left in Leitrim.
No, they haven't got back from Dublin yet.
Have they not? Are they still trailing in?
Oh, they're coming in slowly but surely. Yeah.
Who was the first one back in? Did they turn on the lights?
I'll tell you a good story. We were thinking of going up on the train, but the train was booked up, so we didn't bother. It's just as well because the train coming back on Saturday night broke down outside Longford and was delayed for 3 hours.
Jesus.
Just as well, we didn't.
Oh, Lord. Good job you did. How was your weekend? Enjoyed it?
Yeah, I watched a good bit of football, both codes, all codes, the ladies rugby, the GA, and the soccer. Yeah, good weekend. Yeah.
And it was an interesting weekend, wasn't it, football-wise? We'll get on to Spurs in a minute and the rest of the Premier League, but it's set up the rest of the season lovely, isn't it?
Well, I mean, the game yesterday, everybody was looking forward to. It turned out to be probably this weekend. I'd say we probably had the best and the worst games in the Premiership of the entire season. The best game being the Newcastle West Ham game, which is absolutely unbelievable. And then you Newcastle, Man City, and Arsenal yesterday, which was absolute snooze fest, absolutely ridiculous. Those two teams should be ashamed of themselves putting on a performance like that. It was ridiculous.
This is why I think Man City won't win the league, Philip. I've been telling you that all season.
I still think they'll win the league, but I'll tell you one thing: if Roy Keane, what he said about Erling Haaland, is absolutely spot on. I've been saying it for ages. Haaland is a good striker, but he does nothing else. He's absolutely useless.
He's not a footballer.
Anything else.
He's not a footballer.
He's like one of these place kickers in American football. There's one thing in the entire match. That's all he does. Okay, I know he scores off something, but he doesn't help the team at all, apart from that. No.
And they were comparing him to Harry Kane. How can you compare Haaland to Harry Kane? There's more to Harry Kane's game to Haaland. Haaland's not a footballer. He's a striker. He's not even that, Philip. He's not even that. Let's go through. Go on.
No, I mean, I saw one incident yesterday. He had one chance yesterday, and he didn't even go for the ball. He let it run out of play. Yeah. You know, it was just so lazy.
He air kicked it.
Yeah.
A man that's worth 100 whatever he cost Man City paid for him, air kicked it. I'd say Pep would have been pulling his hair out if he had any hair.
And yeah, Pep seemed to be having a go at James Grealish after the game. Jack Grealish over something, you know. So I think we can say bye-bye, Mr. Grealish, next season.
I'm telling you, Philip, Man City want to win the Champions League. They won't win. Liverpool win the Premier League. I'm telling you.
No, I don't know. I still think City will win the league, but it's not going to be by much. It's going to be very tight.
I think it's going to go to the last day of the season, you know. Last game of the season. And there'll be 3 teams involved in it, sadly. Anyway.
No, so two football teams in Arsenal. Sorry, just to get that right.
That's it, Lego man, Shane, Man United are not involved in it.
Man United are lucky they weren't going home with a massive defeat on Saturday night. I do not know how they got out of that game with a point. Even the fans admit they're absolutely brutal on Saturday night.
There was somebody in the background that was to see with that roiling him up.
Oh, I know. I'm not rising you up, Colin, but I know. You know, I think if the most ardent Man United fan would have to admit, Genther should have been out of sight in that game.
I tell you one. I love Ten Hag's interview afterwards. Did you see Man City? He tried to see Man City didn't play well at Brentford.
Well, did you see the April Fool that was going out this morning? The Ten Hag's agreed a long extension to his contract. I think Man United has a hope on that. Isn't April Fool? You know.
I think Colin would be pulling his hair out at that one. Anyway, big up to Stephen Cartwright. He says, "Good afternoon, Dermot and Philip. All in the chat." We've got Wayne Bonner as well. Good afternoon, everyone. Hope you're all well and having a great bank holiday. Yeah, I am having a good bank holiday. Mr. Brady's had a great, Saturday wasn't good for him because Leitrim lost, but Spurs won, so he was sort of happy.
I'll tell you what the worst part was, Dermot, sitting there watching Flash score, right? And it only happened once before I've seen them Flash score when we played the Villa, right? At home and we lost. We got a couple of big chance comes up on the screen. And when you see big, you assume it's a goal.
Yeah.
Twice during that Villa game, it came up for Spurs with no goal. It happened again against Luton. About 10 minutes before we scored, big chance up on the screen. It disappeared. You know, they're sitting there waiting for the phone. Everyone else talking about the GA. Go away. Wait, this match is to finish first. We'll get involved in that, you know. And then 5 minutes to go, bang, yes, happy days.
I tell you one thing. You want to see me doing the watch along? I was fucking giving out at full half time. I was fuming. That first half performance was woeful, but I'll get into that. We've got Killian Kenny. Big up Killian. Big up to you, says. Big up Dermo. Big up Phil, the Godfather. Happy Easter. Come on, you boys in green. Coys. I was at the game on Saturday with Dublin Spurs.
Oh, good stuff. Very good. Good.
And then he says Dobbs lost to Derry. Yeah,
actually, fair play to Derry. Derry played absolutely brilliant yesterday. Should have won the game in normal time. Should never have gone to extra time even. No. So, and then the penalties.
Well, I'm my missus from Dublin, so I'm not too unhappy.
Oh, I wouldn't be a Dublin fan now. I'd be pretty much anybody else. I think Dublin get too much, you know.
Anyway, Mayo.
Apology if you're from Dublin, Killian, but I just nice to see somebody else getting the win, you know.
No, Mayo for the All Ireland. That's that settled. Just give us the Sam Maguire Cup and just bring it back to Mayo. That we're quite happy with And Colin says, "Do not get me started." I know.
I wonder what he's talking about there.
Angry Manchester United fan. Well, Mr. Brady, shall we crack on with the show? Let's crack on with it. And we do have talking points. This is what we will be talking about today, guys. We're going to talk about Spurs versus Luton. We've got Angie's thoughts as well. We're going to go through the Spurs team, and me and Philip are going to give our team ratings. We're going to look over the Premier League match week 30, the good, the bad, the ugly of the weekend, and also a little bit about Sonny, who's gone into 5th place in the all-time Spurs goal-scoring records, overtaking Cliff Jones, Philip, and now he's behind Shivers, Martin Shivers, Jimmy Greaves, Harry Kane. Who's the fourth one?
Bobby Smith, isn't it?
So it's Son, Smith, Shivers, Greaves, Harry Kane. What a company to be in, Philip. But
yeah, exactly.
Let's start with the game. Let's start with the match, and it really was a big match on Saturday, Philip, wasn't it? With Luton, but Luton got an early goal, and I went ballistic when it happened because, for me, Basuma led to that goal with his lazy tackle. It wasn't even a tackle. It was like, I'm going to stick my leg out just for the crack of it. Philip, what was he thinking? He was woeful.
I would have done. I know this is very extreme, but if I was Ange, right, after that tackle by Basuma, I would have done a Thfc on him and took him off there and then. Because that just showed his mind wasn't at the match. That was the most half-hearted, pathetic tackle. I was talking to you on the phone after it happened. I knew you were angry, and I didn't see it myself till I got home that night. But geez, I could see what Dermot was getting on about there. That was scandalous, absolutely scandalous. I wouldn't have him anywhere near the team for the next match.
No, I wouldn't. He was so bad in the first half. He was not. I thought he was Casper the Ghost. He was nowhere, Philip. Absolutely nowhere. And what do you do with Basuma? What's gone wrong with him? He's never been the same player since the Luton game away to Luton. So what do you think? Do you think he's believing his own hype? Do you think he's got ahead of himself? What do you think the problem is?
I think not as much has been made of that attack of malaria that he had before the African Nations Cup. I think that's taken a lot out of him. I don't think he's ever got back to what he was like at the start of the season. You don't go from being a Spurs' best player to being their worst. There's something going wrong with you. So I think maybe there's more to it than meets the eye. But what he needs was give him a spell on the bench. Let Bentancur come in. Bentancur, to me, is an all-round better player. So give Bentancur a chance and let Basuma sweat it out and get rid of whatever's going wrong with him.
Yeah, but it was a bad start, wasn't it, really, Philip? From us.
But it was gas. I was on my way up to Dublin listening to the RTE commentators talking about the match, and about 5-3, one of them says, I think I can see Spurs really, really, scoring a good few goals today. And 7 minutes later, wouldn't you just know it? We said Luton would find it difficult today, and they're after scored. And then he crashed the bloody car. Jesus.
It was like 2 minutes into the game, and I went,
2 minutes in. Yeah.
2 minutes in. But we came back well, Philip. We hit both posts. Now, did you see Sonny's chance? And I have never seen that. Hit 2 posts. Sarden has a shot, gets in. What did you make of that, Philip? Did you start to think this is not going to be our day?
Well, it already happened when Werner broke through and brilliantly to get where he did and just scuffed the shot wide. Then when Sonny hit the post, and then I think it was Kulusevski. Was it Kulusevski? And then Sarr had the shots cleared. I said, this is not going to be our day. But when you think about it, right, if either of those chances had gone in, I think we would have won that game very, very comfortably.
Yeah,
as it is on chances, we did. They had, I think, 2 shots more after that in the whole game. So I think it was in the second half, there was never any doubt who was going to win. It's just a pity that, is it 6 games in a row now?
Yeah,
we conceded the first goal at home, and we still, it's incredible. We don't score in the first half. We don't score in the first half. That's it.
We have conceded at home for the last 10 games. And the last 10 home games, we've conceded at home. I mean, home form is pitiful if you're going to qualify for the top 4 or qualify for anything major. You've got to win your home games and get at least a point away from home.
Yeah.
Our home form's been dreadful this season. What do you put that down to?
Oh, no, it hasn't. No. Forget. No, I disagree. The form might have been bad. The results haven't been.
No.
We're winning matches. Lost one of our last 6. That's not dreadful. And if you look at the table, Dermot, we're 4 points off what we achieved for the whole of last season at the moment.
Oh, yeah,
9 games left. So, I mean, from that point of view, I know we've lost a couple of games and they put us through the mill by leaving it late. Sheffield United springs to mind. Brighton springs to mind. A lot of them spring to mind. But the team does not give up. The team keeps going for 95, 96 minutes, whatever it is. And it's going to take a bloody good team to hold on against us in the second half the way we play.
Yeah, it is. It is. I want to say Killian Kenny says, hi, big up my uncle. Big up to Killian's uncle. Hope you're well. Happy Easter, sir. We have big up Super Tottenham TV. Says, big up panel. Big up Super Tottenham TV.
Super Tottenham.
Hope you're doing well. We've got the man himself, the legend that is Wilton McDonald. He says, good afternoon all. I hope all is well with family and friends. It is. We've got Peter M. Big up Dermot and Phil and everyone in the chat. Peter's got a comment for you, Philip. It is. And that is why, Philip, you should not listen to commentary of Spurs matches in the car when driving.
I wouldn't mind, but the wife had been doing the driving up to then. I just taken over about 5 minutes before that. And I'm sorry I did. Anyway.
Did she quickly say, get back in the passenger seat here?
Pretty much, yeah.
Anyway. Super Tottenham TV, he says, Basuma has lost form, confidence, don't know what's happened to him.
Yeah.
And we've got the big up to Tequila. He says, afternoon, lads. Big up to Tequila. Hope you're doing well. Peter M says, we are second behind Liverpool in terms of points gained from losing positions, but we need to get more clean sheets for sure. That's true.
That's true. Yeah.
And big up to Mr. West Ham himself, Early Doors Football TV. Afternoon, Dermot and Philip. Hope you're both well. Tomorrow will be an interesting game.
It will, especially after what happened to you lot on Saturday. I mean, can't have been easy to go from 3-1 up to losing,
We will talk about that, Philip. We are going to talk about that, and that is funny. And everyone's saying hello to Evra. So look, we hit both posts, Philip. And then we get back into it. We do get back into it. And I thought we started better in the second half. We were more at them more. Johnson came on for me. And he changed the game for me, Brennan Johnson. He really did, Philip. He was the changer. And then an own goal gets us back into the game and set up by Johnson as well. So how did at 1-1 do you think, right, let's now kick on? And was that your attitude sort of thing? Right, let's kick on.
Oh, God, yeah. You don't sit back on 1-1. You have to kick on. But I must say the goal was very well worked. I mean, the 1-2 between Porro and Johnson was just textbook stuff, really. I mean, and the cross going in, I mean, I know they're saying maybe the Luton defender could have done better, but he had Timo Werner right on his shoulder, ready to tap the ball in anyway. So, he had to do something. And, it was an own goal, I know, but it's one that was the build-up was really, really good. And it's something it's a typical textbook Tottenham move. We've done that so many times this season. Down the right-hand side and then Johnson on his right foot, playing on his right side. If that had been Kulichevsky, he would have come back inside, and the cross would have been totally different.
Yeah, and then Philip, on the 85th minute, we get the late winner, and you must be doing the jig round Croke Park at that.
Well, I was, as I said to you, the second flash score came up wrongly that we'd scored, and it hadn't. But I think actually what that was, it was the ball that nearly crossed the line. I think that's what it was.
Now I am going to get onto that. We have got one picture of it. Now. I'm going to bring it over me and Philip so everyone can see it. So it's not a thing. Look, I'm still convinced it was a goal. I'm not. Colin, are you right to come in? We have got Colin in the background. Put your thumbs up. Colin. Yeah, he's coming in. There we go. There is Mr. Colin.
Hey, Colin.
How you doing, guys?
Yeah. Now, for me, this is a goal. I think, I honestly, look, I'm going to have my say in it now. I'm going to have my rant on it now. VAR and goal line technology suck because that was a goal. I don't care what they say. It was a goal. The ball went over the whole line. That ball is over the line. Ray Charles could have seen
it. Dermot, technically on that picture, it's not. But a picture that I saw of it, I didn't think it was a goal until I saw another angle on it. I think that picture was taken a split second too early, and that's why the ball did cross the line after that was taken. Or is that the stock photograph they have for dodgy Spurs goals? They just pull out and say, no, sorry, no goal.
Yeah, I mean, Colin, what do you, as a football fan, right? Not a Spurs fan, but what do you think? Was it a goal?
I mean, if we're going to go by the definition and everything, and the rules that they play by, all of the ball needs to cross all of the line. Now you can see that a 1/1,000,000th of that ball is on the line. So technically they've got it right, but I think that's really harsh. The ball is basically in back at net there.
Yeah.
It should have been given, but it's goal line technology for you.
Yeah, and I would like to introduce you, please, to the linesman, the VAR people, and the referee for the Spurs' Saturday game. There you go. They're the lads. There's the VAR man, the referee, John Gillette, the two linesmen, and the VAR man. So that was the people in charge of the VAR at our game on Saturday.
But Dermot, that wasn't the VAR. That wasn't the VAR decision. That was the referee's beeping on the wall.
Yeah, but still, it was a goal. How the Luton player was in his net? It was in the back of the net nearly.
No, well, he wasn't that far back. But the thing about it is, one thing I noticed the Spurs players didn't make much of a thing about it. I think that's the one bit of technology they trust is the goal line technology because it works.
Yeah.
Now I don't think it worked on Saturday, or else it was very, 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 very close to not working.
Yeah.
And but listen, what can you do? You just gotta get on with it.
Yeah.
And which they did, thank God.
Yeah, thank God. And then we got Sonny's late winner. As I said, you were doing the jig. I was over the moon. Colin was putting his head in despair that Tottenham had won. Getting ready for what he was going to watch, and we are going to get into the Man United game later. Philip, 3 points. How important is that to get ahead of Man United and close in on Aston Villa and put the pressure on Villa to get that fourth place?
We're 3 points behind them. We've got a game in hand. Their goal difference is 2 goals better than ours, so we need to rectify that,
Yeah.
And I think that may happen against Forest next Sunday, hopefully. But it's important. Like I said, we're only 4 points off our total for the entire season last year. So whatever happens for the rest of the season, this has been good. 8 points ahead of United. I can't see United making that up, to be honest. I don't think, Colin, I don't know if you agree on that. I don't think that's going to happen, But Villa need to, as Peter says, Villa need to slip up there, which, Villa got tough games as well. It's pretty much the same type of running we have. So it's going to be the survival of the fittest playing Arsenal, Newcastle, or City and Liverpool, teams like that.
I think so. Yeah. Well, listen, we'll just go through some of these chats and then we're going to quickly talk about Andrew's thoughts on it, guys. See what you think. Colin, we'll get you involved in this as well now. See what you thought of Andrew's quotes. He's done it. I haven't given the whole what he said in the press conference, but I've taken quotes out of it just to see what we think. But big up to Peter M. Says Johnson is much better than Kulu on the right. Kulu's future is midfield. Colin and Philip, look, I love Johnson. I've been Johnson's biggest fan. Philip, you know that. I've backed him all the way, and I haven't varied on my backing of Johnson. I do think he's the next Gareth Bale if he can apply himself to his craft and apply himself to dedicate himself to football and really take himself up to the next level. Look, Philip, as a Spurs fan, is Kulu's future at Spurs in jeopardy?
No, I don't think so. I just think he needs a bit of a rejig. My playing tonight, I know they took Maddison off on Saturday, right? I know Maddison hasn't really hit the form since he came back, which is a bit worrying. But I think we'd always got an alternative. If Maddison isn't doing it, Kulu can do that job. Because look at the pass he did to put Werner away for the chance in the first half. The guy's got a pass in him. I think he sees his future as a central midfielder.
Yeah.
But certainly he has a future at Spurs. Of course he has. He's too good a player to be letting go. Yeah. He's only young. He'll be okay. I know people get a bit frustrated when he keeps coming inside and all that, but that's what happens with left footers on the right hand side. Put him out on the other side, you won't see him do that. He'll be going outside the player. But Johnson down the right is excellent, I have to say. Yeah. He really can change a match. He really scares the living daylights out of the defenders with his pace and his crossing ability. I mean, look at the cross he put in for that equaliser. Second to none, really. Great cross.
It is, Philip. Colin, look, I'm a massive Johnson fan. Do you think I've been verified now in my support of Johnson, even through the times where people wanted him gone? He's useless. He's no good, and I've stuck by him. Can you see why I've stuck by him?
Oh yeah, the kid's definitely got talent. I think he's a very, very good player. I'm not sure whether he's going to be the next Gareth Bale, but he's definitely got the potential to be a Gareth Bale-esque player. It's his, what is it? This is his first season at Spurs. He joined in September, didn't he? I think, it's what happens in his second season and his third season is what's going to define him. He's only a young lad, still actually, even though he's 22, he's still learning the trade. He's got another 4 years before he hits his prime. So I think you've got a really good player. You just need to constantly back him, and I'm sure he'll reward you guys for doing that.
Yeah, I mean, Philip, you look at Chrissy Waddle. He didn't start the ground running when he came from Newcastle, did he? You look at Gareth Bale. He didn't hit the ground running. So are we a bit too impatient, Philip, do you think, with Johnson, when you look at other players that didn't hit the ground running when they first signed?
What, a Spurs fan impatient? My God, that's such a terrible thing to say. Right. Gareth Bale went 25 matches before he won a game playing for Spurs. He was like a jinx. We're going to call him Jonah Bale, because he put a jinx on the entire team. Then once he started winning, there was no stopping him. They're different types of player. They are different. I think Gareth Bale is Gareth Bale. There's no other way. He's unique. Johnson, different type of player, will hopefully be as effective, and at least he started the ground running, winning a few games that he's played in.
Yeah.
So I think the fact that they're if Johnson wasn't Welsh, they probably wouldn't be comparing him at all. It's just the fact they're Welsh. I think that's probably something to do with it. But no, he's good. I mean, we didn't pay 40 million for nothing. The what do you call it? The coaching staff and the scouting staff saw something in his days at Forest that he will now go on to improve and get better all the time at home.
Well, would you class him? I mean, you saw Ryan Giggs in the early days. Would you reckon there's sort of similarities with Ryan Giggs as well with Johnson?
No. Yeah, they're both Welsh.
Both Welsh.
That's it. They're both Welsh.
Both
Welsh. Where the similarities end.
It's like Ryan Giggs always being compared to George Best when he first started.
He wasn't Welsh. No, he wasn't Welsh.
No, I know that. But do you know, to me, when Ryan Giggs burst onto the scene, there was a comparison between him and Georgie Best, the new George Best. Do you think it's the same? There was back in the day. I know there was. Because Fergie actually said that's not fair, and labelling at the time when he was making his debut, calling him the neutral. That was putting pressure on him. Do you think we put too much pressure on these young players, comparing them to the greats of the past?
Well, I think social media puts a lot of pressure on players if they read it. Like if I was a player, I wouldn't read social media at all, because it would destroy my confidence. Some of the things that are said about players, mostly by fans of other clubs. So no, I don't think. I think, listen, these guys, they're tutored how to. Colin, you probably know this better than I do. They're tutored how to behave, how to react in public, how to to behave themselves, and most of them do it. Okay, there's the odd renegade that doesn't. We'll not name any names here, but I think Johnson's dad is still in the background there. David Johnson. Yeah, it was David Johnson, the guy that played for. Was it David Johnson? Colin, what's his name? He's an ex-professional footballer, anyway.
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
And I think no more than Sonny's parents keep Sonny on the straight and narrow. Like Sonny's dad has told Sonny he can't get married till he's finished playing football. Now that's dedication for you. Or maybe it's insensible. I don't know. But anyway, you know where I'm coming from. So Johnson's.
That's Philip's word of advice to anyone: don't get married till you finish your job.
Lucky the wife not listening to me here, anyway, isn't it?
Yeah. That's the reason why I shouldn't have got married the first time round.
Yeah. No, I think it'll be okay. Like I think the days of the lads going out on the bender is probably in the past. Mainly, I'm sure there's still the odd time that happens, but it's not like the Jimmy Greaves days and Alan Gilveen days. We're out in the piss every game after every match.
Yeah.
And that doesn't happen these days.
No. What? Look, let's go on to what Ange said. I'll start with you, Colin, then go to you, Philip. Colin, Ange said the impact subs, we got what we deserved. Do you think a lot of people criticise Ange for his substitutions? Do you think he got it right on Saturday?
I mean, looking at the overall things, the substitutes made the differences, really, I suppose. What were it, 90-odd minute winner from Son? Were it something like that?
Yeah.
can't quite remember. And then, he's made changes throughout the game to make that happen. So, yeah, I think the subs got what they, played for. And, yeah, impact subs are a massive, massive thing in the game nowadays, Yeah. It's not a case of just go out there and run a little bit. In subs now, very much so now compared to how it used to be, back in the good old days of football.
Yeah.
Bar the exception of obviously Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, because he was like, a super sub. Subs came on just to hold games out.
They did.
But it's completely different now. Yeah, I think Andrew's right there.
Yeah, he is. And he also said it was a good performance and we dominated. I don't know what he's called the first half a good performance, because the first half was woeful. But Philip, would you say the second half was a good performance and we dominated the second? Or did we dominate the whole match?
Yes, we dominated the whole match pretty much. In fact, the shock is in the way the first goal took him a few minutes to register. But no, I think we dominated. Like, I don't know what the stats were. Do we have 70% possession? Probably. So, no, I think Luton put up a brave fight. We thought, Luton are not an easy team to beat. Very few teams have turned them over big time.
Yeah.
I think Liverpool did there a few weeks ago. So I'm hoping they stay up.
Yeah.
I really do. I hope Luton stay up.
I think they will.
I hope Andros Townsend got a good reception when he came out on Saturday, because he deserves it.
Did you see the way he went up that wing? He flew up that wing.
Yeah, but nobody stopped him. Nobody went after him. Basuma more or less said, after you, let him go.
Yeah. I've been told off here by Peter Remy, says, don't diss the splits, Dermot. Yeah, mustn't diss the banana splits. Yeah. That's me and Philip and Dave and Jack. Or Colin. Take your pick. We've got United think are out of it. Yeah, I think they are. United will finish 14th, says Tequila. Been very harsh on United.
I don't think they'll be that bad now.
We've got a smiley face. McDonald Wilton says the refs do have a watch on their wrists. That will indicate if the whole ball is over the line. A lot of people agree with you, Philip, saying it wasn't a goal in that angle, but you saw another thing.
Yeah,
looking at that picture, I would say it's no goal. Tequila says, Gareth Bale? Really, Dermot? Well, I'm delusional. But that's me. Kulo is one of us for some time to come, but they need to move him, I think, into the middle. I think he has to move there. I love you, Derma, but that's a big ask. What, Tequila? We were given mountains to climb. Philip was given a mountain to climb with Leitrim, and they got all the way to Croke Park. See,
then we rolled down the hill without even trying. Yeah.
Colin supports Man United. Well, that's just, I don't know what you call that. Exactly, just putting his hands in the air.
I'm getting stray fires here, man. What's going on?
Anyway, Doncaster Rovers for promotion. There you go. That'll make him happy. See, he's happy now. Donny Rovers against Manchester City next season. Wilton says, I said that Johnson will be our next Jimmy Robinson on the right. That's a very good point. Jimmy, didn't he play for Nottingham Forest under Brian Clough?
No, he went to Arsenal. He left us.
Who played for Brian Clough in that year? Who played for Brian Clough when Forest won the league?
Jimmy Robertson played in the FA Cup winning team in '67, so he's way before Clough's time,
Yeah, but there was a player that played for Clough. Oh, what was his name?
Oh, wait a bit. Yeah, none.
Yeah, you know who I'm talking about. He crossed the winner for Trevor Francis to score the winner in the 1979 European Cup final.
Oh God!
What was his name? I'll forget what his name is now. But Johnson.
Anyone in the chat knows who that is. Put it in. Put us out of a misery.
That's going to bug me now. He has a B, says Peter. He does. Johnson has a way to go yet. He could be our next Darren Anderton, says Wayne.
I wouldn't say no to that. Without the sick note tag. Without the sick note.
Yeah. Pete Rems, Johnson's had a better start than Bale, who was on the losing side for many a game when they start with Spurs. Yeah, exactly. Super Tottenham says, I personally don't rate Johnson. He's still learning the game, and he doesn't take fullbacks on. He just passes it back to a fullback. I don't agree with that.
I think the Luton fullback might have a different opinion on it after Saturday.
He does. Tequila says he barely gets into the 80s on FIFA, which, as we all know, is 100% accurate. Yeah. Giggs was far better than Johnson.
Well, Johnson's only starting. Giggs had his full career ahead of him or behind him.
But I'm thinking that Giggs starting and Johnson starting. Do you know at the start of their careers? What's Ryan Giggs once in a very quick question? Colin would probably answer this better than you and me, Philip. But was Ryan Giggs one of those United once in a generational players?
Yeah, I'd say he was, wasn't he?
Well, I mean, for what he did, yes. At United, I don't think there's been anyone who like Ryan Giggs since Ryan Giggs, you know. So yeah, I'd probably say he is. Yeah.
I think one bit of advice I should give to Brendan Johnson is to keep away from your brother. Keep away from your brother's wife.
Do you know his brother's still living on that? You know that he's still
probably is. Yeah.
He's still doing interviews about 10 years later on that. We've got the Keeler says, unless your name is Rashford, Phil, with the social media. Peter Rent, well, in the 1960s, there was no energy drinks to recover after the match. Beer was therefore necessary.
And gin and tonics as well.
Yeah. And while we're talking about energy drinks, do you want to give our official partner a bit of a plug as we bring up the QR code here?
It's the Wraith Rovers of football, of energy drinks, the Wraith.com. Hit that QR code there and get 10% off your first order use that code THFC till I die. Dermot's tried it. He's tried the bath water and he's still living and he's jumping around the place with energy, with so much energy now once he's taken it. So give it a try, see what you think. And they'll benefit, we'll benefit, everybody benefit.
Yeah. It's the crash afterwards, Philip. It's the energy crash afterwards.
All right.
That's the only thing. Colin, do you want to plug your one as well? Because I know it's a different QR code, but it's the same thing. We are linked. So do you want to give your one a bit of a link as well?
Yeah. If you want to help us out as well on the Full Time Sports Network, our code, I know the QR code is different, but our code is FTSN22. You get 10% off as well.
Yeah. And they're great partners, aren't they, guys? They've been absolutely fantastic partners for us, and we are so grateful that they're here. We've got Peter Rem, big up Jacob. We've got to behave now.
Hi, Jacob.
Big up all. He says, damn it, I don't think your mic is the correct one. Sounds like it's your computer mic.
You sound okay here, man.
Yeah. Am I coming across okay?
Yeah, fine here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a transatlantic.
Oh, I think I know what he means. Oh, it's because of my background. I get it. I get what he gets now. It's the background. And because I'm using my computer mic, I get what he's meant. Very funny, Jacob. You're funny. You're funny. Good morning to you over there anyway, sir. And happy Easter to you and your family. And I think he's expecting another one soon. So let us know. Let us know when it's due. Another little Spurs fan. So, Jacob, if you need any help, sir, me and Philip are here always to help you, sir. Always. I would never forgive my brother if he stole my partner. I wouldn't either.
No.
Just don't leave him alone with your missus.
Yeah.
Giggs was amazing. We've got Matty Bassett. Happy Easter, everyone. We've got big up everyone on the show and in the chat. Afternoon all. I mean, no energy drinks, of course. Yes, we know what you meant. And then we've got Jacob said, big up, buddy. Appreciate that. Well, listen, man, we're all one family when it comes to Tottenham. Even the Full-Time Sports Network are in the Spurs family, as you can see. And he's happy to be here. Now, what we're doing first. What are we doing, Philip? Are we going...
Spurs teams ratings.
Spurs teams. So let me do this off. This is the first time I've used this. So let me see if I get this right. Just keep your fingers crossed, everyone, that it does work. Now, how do I bring it up? That's the next question. Oh, I know why I did. I'm such a dumbass. I'm such a dumbass. There we go. Look at that. Ta-da! Now, Philip, do you want to go through the ratings there? I'll give you your ratings.
Vicario, again, what can you say about the man? There's nothing wrong. Made a couple of good saves. No chance for the goal. Give him an 8. Porro, I thought was very, very good. Marauding up and down that right wing. He really is turning into an exceptional wing back. Give him an 8 as well. Romero, solid as ever. Another 8. Dragusin, Yeah, he's getting there. He's not quite there yet, but I'd say now he'll be back on the bench tomorrow night. I'd give him a 7. And Udogie an 8. Midfielders, Sarr 7. Basuma 5, and he's lucky to get that. We all know why. Kulusevski 6. He only played half the game. Made a couple of brilliant passes, though, that maybe should have ended up in goals, which quite didn't. Maddison 6. Not really back to his best yet. He's not quite there with him. Werner, I give him an 8, although he was very, very good. Apart from missing the chance, he terrorized that left wing back position. He was very, very good. And Son an 8. What can you say? The guy comes back from traveling halfway around the world. I mean, in fact, Romero actually played on Wednesday morning, our time, in America, and was back to play on Saturday. So I'll give the team a little bit of the guys that travelled. They're due for coming back and putting on such a performance. Because let's face it, none of the Luton team, very few of them would have been away on international duty. So, yeah. So, in other words, always difficult to come back after an international break. Thanks be to God, that's the end of them now for the season.
It is. Colin, do you want to give your ratings? What you thought of the Spurs team?
Well, I've only seen obviously highlights of it. But Vicario for me, best goalkeeper in the Premier League by far. I'll give him an 8. I think Dragusin. See, I find it hard with Dragusin because he's such a good defender. He just seems to be having a bit of a hard time at the moment. Don't know whether that's fitness. You guys will see more of him than what I have. Don't know if it is just fitness or not. I'll give him a 6.
I think he's bedding in. He's bedding in. That's probably his issue. He just hasn't got the. He's not fully integrated yet.
Yeah. Obviously, it does take time for him to integrate as well. But I think he will come good. Him and Van der Ven, if they partner up together, Van der Ven's probably one of the best Premier League defenders as well. So, Udogie, I think. Well, I mean, from what I saw, I can only give him, a 6. Romero again a 6. Porro a 6. Bissouma, I didn't really see much of, to be honest with you. So an average. I'd have to give him, like an average 5. Sarr, I'll probably give a 6. Werner, I'll give 7. He looked like he was quite dangerous. Maddison, I know he's just come back from injury and everything as well, so I'll give him a 6. He's trying to get his fitness and everything back. Kulu, I'll give a 7, and obviously Son, I think, what a player Son is. I'll give Son an 8.
Yeah. Look, for me, for Vicario, I'll give him a 9. I thought he was outstanding. He kept us in it. Some of them saves, he kept us in it. The back 4 as a whole, I'm going to give a 7, but I would give a 6.5 to Rudu. I just felt he was nervous again. He looked like he was playing the Fulham game again. But the rest of them, I give a 7. Masuma, I'm going to give a 3. He was dreadful. I am sick to death of Basuma. And he needs to be dropped. He needs to be taken out of the game for a while. He was woeful. Sarr, I give him a 7. I give Kulu a 7.5. Maddison, I give 6.5. Werner, I give an 8. I thought he was outstanding. He was dangerous. And once Johnson came on, we rarely were able to play Ange ball because we had 2 wingers with pace down there. And then Sonny, I'll give him an 8.5. He's captain, but he leads by example. But he's not a Harry Kane lead by example. He will shout at players if he doesn't think players are pulling their weight. He will tell them. So for me, I agree with Jacob here. He says Basuma was moving like Tonga and Saturday.
Yeah.
There is a similarity, isn't there, between him and Dombele at the moment?
He's a different stature, but you know the best thing he did in the entire match? When he was walking off around the side of the back of the pitch when Spurs scored the winner. He picked the ball up and belted into the crowd. That was the best thing he did the entire match.
It was. Big up, Jacob. And Peter M says, that's damning, Jacob. That is damning. And then Tequila says, Biss was poor again, needs to be dropped if his ego can take it. Exactly. Yeah. Now, Philip, let us go for... So let me take that off and let me bring this up, the team stats. Now, I can shot 17 shots on target for Spurs, 7 for Luton, Philip, 4 on target for Tottenham, 3 on target for Luton, 70 possession for Tottenham, 30% possession for Luton, 610 passes to 255 in favour of Spurs, 84% pass accuracy to 69 in favour of Spurs, 16 fouls to 14 for Luton, 2 yellow cards for Spurs, 4 for Luton, no red cards, 1 offside each, and 3 corners to Spurs, 6 to Luton. Spurs win 2-1. Philip, if you're looking at them stats and you didn't see the game, would you think Spurs dominated the whole 90 minutes and played outstandingly well?
Well, apart from the corners, they've won every stat there, almost. So, yeah, I mean, it's what you expect from a home team against a side like Luton, you know. But I think the scoreline, I'd say, to be honest with you, I've seen 70% of the match. I didn't see much of the first half. I think the scoreline flattered Luton a little bit. If Son's effort in the first half had gone in, if Werner's shot had gone in, if the one that didn't cross the line had gone in, we're talking 5-1.
Yeah.
Which I think none of us would have been that surprised if Spurs had won 5-1.
No.
You know, but we didn't. But we still got a win, so that's the main thing. But I think they were a bit unlucky with those decisions with the goal line technology and the ball hitting both posts. Normally they'd be goals, and that would be 4-1, plus another one from somewhere as well. So, no, I think we those stats are fairly accurate. Yeah.
Colin, what do you reckon? That's a neutral? If you were looking at that game, would you think, like Philip said, you know, that would have been a 4-5-1 if you didn't know the score?
Well, I mean, if I didn't know the score and just show me them stats, you know, I'd be thinking, well, Spurs have just won 4-0. You know, they've had 4 shots on target. Surely those 4 shots have gone in. I'd be slightly worried that you've had 17 shots and only 4 on target against Luton.
Yeah.
But, you know, it looks like a complete dominant performance.
It really does. Well, look, we'll take that up. We'll put the, hang on, where am I going? So we'll take that down and we'll bring that back up now if I can. No, I don't. I know what I'm doing. I'm losing the plot here, lads. I'm getting a little bit confuffled. Hang on, let me bring that up. There we go. Now, Premier League. Let's go through the review, guys, of the Premier League. Of course, it was match week 30. About 10 games to go now. 9 games to go now, lads.
We have 9 games to go. Yeah, we have 9 left.
The Premier League weekend. So let me bring this up. And let's start with the lunchtime game, 12:30. Newcastle versus West Ham United. Who wants to start this? This was a mad 3-1 up, Philip and Colin. You would expect West Ham to take the points home. But Newcastle being Newcastle, out of nowhere win the game. Who wants to start on this one?
Sure, I'll go.
I'll let Philip.
I said I was on my way to Dublin. This is a 12:30 kickoff. So I was traveling. I was keeping track of the score. And a mate of mine rang me during the game. He says, "You know something? You're watching the match?" I said, "No, I'm driving." He says, "This is probably the best game of the season so far."
Yeah.
He said it was unbelievable how the Newcastle came back from 3-1 down. And, when West Ham were 3-1 up, all I could think about was, Christ, we're playing them on Tuesday. This is going to really boost their confidence, you know. Now I'm beginning to think, how is their confidence being dented by a 4-3 defeat? Especially, and I'll tell you, this Calvin Phillips, God love me, the guy must, I don't know, he must have a jinx on him. He comes on at 64 minutes when they're 3-1 up and they get beat 4-3. And next thing, I think he was confronted by the fans and getting onto the coach after the game as well. And he's supposed to have made a gesture to the fans, which won't go down well, you know. So I mean, it's tough on the lad, but I'm just hoping that dents West Ham's confidence for Tuesday. And as for Newcastle, it's probably kept Eddie Howe in a job, because I think if they'd lost that game, his position would have been seriously under pressure.
Yeah, Colin, what a match! I mean, that is the Premier League. It's a great advert for the Premier League, isn't it? That game.
Oh, fantastic advert for the Premier League. You know, if people are wanting to watch football, you know, this shows why you should watch the Premier League. How many teams have actually come back from 3-1 down to win 4-3? You know, it's absolutely ridiculous. And let's not forget, I know it was like at the last minutes of the game, but Newcastle also went down to 10 men.
Yeah.
You know, which could have affected the last couple of minutes of the game or whatever it was. You know, absolutely fantastic game. And Harvey Barnes,
he's some player, isn't he?
He is some player.
I mean, he's a potential. I mean, he could end up at a big club, Harvey Barnes. He really could. He really. Peter says Calvin Phillips has been ruined by Man City. Do you reckon that's harsh or true?
No, it's true.
I think that's harsh.
True. No, he never got a game for Man City. That's what's ruined his confidence.
Yeah.
He's gone to West Ham now and thinking this would be great. I've got a new team to play every match for. He can't even get in the starting 11 at West Ham.
No. The Keeler says shame he was very good at Leeds, and the Keeler says we should have got him alongside Mads. Oh, that would have been.
Do you know? I was watching today. Harvey Barnes' replacement at Leicester, and one of his replacements at Leicester, the late lamented Harry Winks. Harry Winks is having a great season for Leicester. Absolutely brilliant season for Leicester. He made the winning goal today as well, for the third goal. So
but Leicester got back top now.
The back top. We might give out about him when he was at Spurs, but nothing I like to see a Spurs player going on somewhere else and making it good, and so fair dues to Harry Winks.
It is. Now, Philip, we're going to the 3 o'clock, guys, and Colin, we're going to the 3 o'clock kickoff. We've got Bournemouth 2, Everton 1, Chelsea 2, Burnley 2, Forest 1, Palace 1, Sheffield United 3, Fulham 3. Spurs, of course, beat Luton 2-1. Then at 5:30, it was Villa 2, Wolves 2, and then at 8 o'clock it was Brentford 1, Manchester United 1. Look, we're not going to go through all the games. I'm going to pick one game, and I'm going to pick the Chelsea one. I think that's a dreadful result for Chelsea. I think that is, for me, that's the end of Poch at Chelsea. If you can't beat Burnley, who are going down, and cheapen goals like there's no tomorrow, then I think that's the end for me. So that for me is the surprise of the weekend. Is there any other games there, guys? That
they only had 10 men Burnley for the second half as well.
I know. Is there any other games there that take your?
Well, we'll leave the United one to the end, but one I'd look at is the Sheffield United and Fulham. Sheffield United were 3-1 up, and they scored a fourth goal, which was disallowed for offside. I think it was. If that had been allowed, Fulham would not have come back into that match. But as it was, Fulham got back to 3-3, and Sheffield United were hanging on for grim death at the end of the game. Yeah. So it's a point. I know it's a point, but whether it's enough to keep them up is another thing. Now, Colin, we won't say too much about Man United, but all I'm going to say is Brentford had 31 shots in that game.
I was going to say about the Everton game for Colin very quickly. Colin, what did you think of the Everton result? Is that bad for Everton now, for them staying up?
It's really bad for Everton. They were 1-0 down, got back to 1-1, own goal. They're not helping themselves really, are they, Everton? No. Let's be honest. Something needs to change there. I don't know what it is. Even Sean Dyche can't manage to, do what he did all those many times at Burnley. It looks like they're on the way down.
Yeah, it does. It does. The Villa result, Philip, did that surprise you at home to Wolves or not really?
Not
very
really,
quickly.
Not really, no. I think expected the Villa to win that game,
Yeah. Now, Colin. Little Colin down the bottom. Brentford, the Bonnie Bees against the Red Devils of Manchester United. Now, I didn't watch the game because I was spending time with Derval on her birthday. I did pop in just to give a bit of banter to you and Bobby and the other guest you had on doing that game. What went wrong?
How long have you got?
With Man United, that's what went wrong.
You turned up.
Yeah. I don't even know anymore. I think I've come on this show quite a few times. You've asked me what's gone wrong. I don't even know anymore. 96th minute, Mason Mount scores. That should be it. The 96th minute goal. All you have to do is defend. But can United defend? No, they can't. The Man United defense is like trying to hold water in a sieve. It just doesn't happen at all. It's a joke. It's a joke. And the thing, I'm going to do a show at some point. Obviously, you've seen the thumbnail and everything. I haven't done it yet. But it's getting to a point now where enough is enough for me. Enough is enough for quite a few United fans. It's absolutely shocking. I mean, how many teams have had 31 shots against them in a game?
I can't think of many. Can you, Philip?
No, not really. I think they had to replace the crossbar after the match as well. I think.
Look, I want to ask you a question, Philip, on this. I've always said you've watched a lot more football than me and Colin put together. You've seen all the games, all the United sides during the years, even through their barren years of under Atkinson and Ferg, the early years under Fergie, even after Farrell and Tommy Dock came in. And he got them relegated. Is this as bad a United team, Philip, you've seen in all the years you've been watching football?
No. The worst United team I saw was the one that got relegated in 1973. That was a bad team. I mean, it's a head scratcher. With the players you've got, you should be challenging for the top four, But it's just they're not gelling together. I mean, you got Rashford gives me the impression he was out for a Saturday afternoon stroll in that game. There wasn't a lot of urgency about him. You've got the players. You've got Casemiro, good play. You've got Varane. She's a bloody World Cup winner. You've got a goalkeeper that is good or bad, but he's doing okay. You've got Christian Eriksen. You've got Bruno Fernandes. You should be top four every season without a thought. Now, whether it's the manager or it's what's going on in the background, I just don't know. But it's just not. I know it can be very frustrating being a Tottenham fan. I mean, you're probably feeling the way we did this time last season, but I think United have got to make a change of manager there to get things back on track again. And when they do, they will be a force.
But who? Who can come in? And Colin, look, that's the number one question, isn't it? Who's going to come in and change it around? Because you've tried it since Fergie left. You've had this. It's happened again, and I did say it at the time. I don't know. I didn't know Philip and that at the time, or Dave or any of them, but I said it to a friend of mine. United are going to go through the same cycle as they went through after Sir Matt Busby left. And it's proved my point. You are going through the same cycle, winning odd cups here and there. Who do you think has the authority and has the tenacity and the balls to take on that job and run it like Fergie did?
Don't think there's nobody that's not got a job anyway. Links, obviously, people linking us with Gareth Southgate now. Gareth Southgate can't even manage England properly, let alone an actual football team for 46 bloody weeks or whatever it is. So no, I don't think Nagelsmann's got the chance to do it. Tuchel's failed already in the Premier League, so I don't think United will touch him. Conte, definitely not. If I'd rather go smash my head against a brick wall than have Conte.
Don't let me and Philip put you off Conte.
No,
Philip,
it's not. I've seen Conte. I've seen Conte firsthand. Yeah. No, thank you.
Yeah. No, hang on, Colin. Philip, look, convince Colin Conte's the right man for United. Look, you convince him.
No, I won't, because I'll tell you one. If Conte came back, he'd have a mission. He really would be going for it. So no, it'd be dangerous territory bringing Conte back to United. He might actually win things.
Do you think he could be the new? Are you looking for a new Fergie United? Have they lost their soul? That's the point I'm making. Have United, Philip? You've seen Matt Busby then going to all the other managers. Did it got the Fergie? Does it remind you of them times? I know I've said it before, but do you think United have lost their soul a little bit?
Well, to be honest, I wouldn't have been paying that much attention to Manchester United, before social media came in. So I couldn't really answer that properly. I mean, each club goes through phases of success and then lack of success. And that's what United are at the minute. They're in a quandary. They don't know what to do with their manager. They've got this new investor coming in, Jim Ratcliffe. What's he going to do? You've still got the Glazers hovering around the background, hoovering up the money. So it's not an easy situation for anyone at Manchester United. There's no continuity. There's no settled style there, if you like. And until I think the Glazers go, it'll continue to be that way for a while, unless they make an absolutely genius appointment who can come in and change things around quickly.
Like Ange.
Well,
Ange.
Yeah, maybe. Keep your hands off him. He's staying with us.
Yeah, he is staying with us. You're not getting him. Peter's asking you a question here, Colin. It says, Colin, do you blame Ten Hag for the inconsistency?
Yeah, I mean, he's kind of got to be blamed for, but it's not all on him. It's on players as well. You know, we've got a Marcus Rashford who's supposed to be one of the best wingers in the world, looking like he's not even bothered and doesn't want to play football. We've got the most prima donna captain in the existence of football with Bruno Fernandes that doesn't even look like he's trying anymore. And then we've got 30-year-olds that are using United for retirement. You know, it's a joke. The whole club's a joke, to be honest with you. Yeah. And, you know, we'll see what happens in the future.
Ryan Mason, there's a name that for United. Stellini, there you go, Colin. That's a good one for you.
No, I'll tell you who I want. It's never going to happen, but I would love Xavi Alonso.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know that,
yeah. Yeah. Tequila says the lack of success is Spurs, not United. That's true, actually. I did say United lack of success. They won a cup last year. I don't get it. Sorry. United fans demand the championship, demand European Championship cups. They don't demand an FA Cup or a League Cup. They demand the top trophies. And that is when, if you don't win the trophy, they don't call them winning an FA Cup a successful season. Managers have got sacked for that at United by winning just an FA Cup. Peter Rem says United had two phases of success, the 60s under Busby and the 90s and 2000 under Ferguson. Otherwise, they were a mid-table team or worse. That's very true. If you do look back through the history of Man United, they never were a successful team. Dermot, leave Colin. Sorry if I spelt your name wrong. I don't get that.
By the way, just get a bit of... There's an interesting result from the Championship today. Sunderland 1, Blackburn 5.
Jesus.
And Sammy Smodic scored twice and made another one.
See,
our boy.
I tell you, our boys doing well. Gareth Southgate at Man United, says DJ. And Tequila says, well, sorry, but they should be less entitled. No offense to anyone. I agree with you. Then yesterday, the title race took a twist and a turn, and another twist, and another turn, and then the snooze fest. Liverpool 2, Brighton 1, and then the snooze fest. Me and Colin did this one. Colin, I'm unsurprised we're still awake from that. I thought we'd be asleep for the next month. But Liverpool 2, Brighton 1, 0-0 at Main Road. Philip, very quickly, what did you... Has the title race been turned on its head?
Nah, not really. I still think it's going to go down to the last couple of games. I mean, one game like that's not going to change it. Brighton gave Liverpool a very good big shock at the start there, but Liverpool came back, deserved to win it. I mean, I don't know how many chances Mo Salah needed before he scored. I think he had 11, 12 shots in the whole game. It was a record, I think, for a player. He eventually got one of them in. Good win for Liverpool. Doesn't win anything for them. It just means the Klopp bandwagon carries on for another while. I still think, despite their failures yesterday, that Manchester City Arsenal game was probably the worst Premiership match in living history. It was just so boring. It was just it was after you. Nobody was scared. Nobody took a chance. No one tried to win the game. As if they said at the start, lads, okay, we'll take a point each out of this. It'll suit everybody. Yeah. It was just pathetic.
It was. It really was. Colin, just very quickly on the last two games.
Yeah, Liverpool being Liverpool and Salah dragging them out again, as he normally does for him. As for the Arsenal City game, I'm going to have reoccurring nightmares of watching that absolute heap of rubbish.
There you go. That just sums up. That just sums up that game. That was dreadful. Now, Philip, the last bit we're going to talk about, of course, is Sonny sits in 5th place on the all-time goal-scoring record behind Bobby Smith, Martin Shivers, Jimmy Greaves, and Harry Kane. 160 goals, Philip, he's now scored for us.
Mm-hmm.
Can he go up that list anymore, do you think, very quickly?
I don't know how far he's behind the next lad up there. If he's 10 or 15, 20 goals behind, any more than that, it's going to be difficult. But he's shown what a legend he is and what a humble... I mean, I saw him on TV last night. He was thanking all the coaching staff since he came to Spurs, all the players that played with him. You know, the only one he didn't thank was Mr. Eastwood. You know,
Yeah, but anyone doesn't realise that is the Barry McGuigan ad that used to be on, or song they did, wasn't it, Philip? Back in the day.
Thank you very much, Mr. Eastwood.
Eastwood, yeah. And Barry McGuigan was a very good little boxer to Barney Eastwood.
Sonny is just so humble. He's such a lovely, nice guy, and he went out to the fans. A lot of Korean fans outside the training ground on Friday, and he must have got wind of it, and he got the security guys to escort him out to sign autographs for the Korean fans at the training ground. That's why he's such a hero in South Korea.
Yeah, he is. Listen, guys, we've got an exciting week coming up. Me and Philip do have some members only stuff coming up. I don't know if you need the night off, Philip, because of your throat. I can quickly put the pre-records together.
If you I can feel it. My throat is going again here, and it's terribly annoying.
Fine. I'll put them together. Then pre-records for the members. Then we're back tomorrow. Of course, I'll be on at Dave's at 4 for the pre-match, and then I'll be doing the watch along here tomorrow night. Colin, where can people find you? Because we've got a busy week on the gaming channel, our new gaming channel, Double Dumb Gaming, and also on Full Time Sports Network. So let me put you on the full screen there, sir. No, that's not what I want. How do I put you up there? Hang on, I've done this wrong. Hang on. There we go. Now, Mr. Conham, please plug away.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, first of all. Obviously, you can find me here every now and again on the Full Time Sports Network, where tomorrow I will be doing the watch-along of Doncaster Rovers versus Wrexham. It's going to be a tasty game, that one, I think. Wrexham, obviously, trying to get automatic, and Rovers now in the hunt for playoffs. And also on the Double Done Gaming, probably at some point tonight, I will be live to do my Saving Manchester United career mode on EAFC.
Yeah, please get over there. It is a new channel. We're going to do a lot of new stuff on there, aren't we, Colin? We're doing Formula 124 when it comes out, a lot of EA Sports as well, aren't we?
Yeah.
And also wrestling. So Colin has very kindly done me my own wrestling person, which is quite cute. It's not cute. He was based on somebody out of Vikings. That was my design thing. Philip, thank you again. You're not with us tomorrow. You're back on
Wednesday.
Philip is going up to Dublin to do his Roger Taylor impression and Phil Collins impression. Do you ever do In the Air Tonight, Philip?
No.
Have you ever done that at Darky Kelly's?
I've done it. I've done it myself with headphones on. I've never done it live. I've never done it in public. I've done it myself. Yeah, I can do it. I've done it. So I can manage it. Yeah.
I tell you, I would love to come into Darky Kelly's and actually do that, and that would be good. We've got a little bit to go. Let's plug some channels. Big up Tequila, Colin Shoutcross. Big up Colin. Says Shivers is next, 174.
Nice. Okay.
So there you go.
That's reachable. Yeah. Maybe not this season, but next season.
Big up to our channel as well. Please hit the like button and subscription. Also on our gaming channel, me and Colin's gaming channel on the Full Time Sports Network as well. Plug yourself in there as well, Tequila as well. Tequila says, screw Wrexham. Colin finish is a big splash. Dermo is a moonsault. I don't know what that means. Mm-hmm. If it's a compliment, I'll take it. And mine is a stunner.
Is that about your finisher?
Oh, yeah.
A moonsault.
Yeah, moonsault, that's it. Oh, yeah, and WWE. Oh, yeah. Listen, thank you all for watching, guys. It's always been a pleasure doing this to you. Enjoy the rest of your bank holiday weekend. I'll be back later with some pre-recorded stuff for you members. I'll probably be on Dave's later as well for the fan show. Philip, you go and rest your voice and look after Mrs. Brady, who I know is not well, so the very best to her. Colin, we'll probably talk in a minute after this anyway. So, what should I play out with, Philip? Should I play the new intro out?
Yeah. And by the way, send me the link tomorrow night for the watch along doing it, because I may have a gap between 8:30 and 9:15. I'll be able to join in.
Okay. Oh yeah. And just very quickly, Barney the dinosaur, Philip. Breaking news: has got lost again.
God.
He was last
seen. That fella.
Yeah, he was last seen around Newcastle with the Newcastle mascot, and he hasn't been seen since. So if anyone does find Barney the dinosaur, please send him back to West Ham with bubbles, because West Ham have got no bubbles for tomorrow night. That is bombshell. That is breaking news. Come on, you Spurs in Big Ange.
Come on, Spurs.
Trust.